Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about my design like that I did in my graduation project. So my topic's name is I'm designing a RT-PCR COVID-19 kit for remote areas. It's a design for people. So I did this project under Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir from Senoi Lab, and I am my co-guide Professor Kum sir. The challenge for this design was like, if we consider our COVID-19 scenario in 2019, so this COVID came and like in the middle it just raised and people started getting affected from this disease, and it started spreading all over the India. And if we talk about 2021, is it how in single day we used to get 15,000 COVID cases. So only there was only one way, that is RT-PCR testing. But the thing is like if you talk about our Indian context, so there are 69% population is settled in rural context, and in rural context we have different topography like mountain, river, desert and cold region. In this region all the settlement and people they have settled. So the thing is like it's very hard for the people to go and get tested for this RT-PCR. So then I started studying about like what is this RT-PCR and how we can do this process, and so why people are getting affected. So there are three ways for doing it. One is mobile PCR testing, one is COVID booth PCR testing, the third one is normal PCR testing. So for normally government is doing normal PCR testing. They are providing nurse to visit different places and just they do a normal PCR testing. And if you talk about the challenges, the main challenges were like, main thing is the transportation, and the samples need to be transported to the main cabin for testing. And the second thing is the disposal means like we have to test, and like where should all this waste should go. We can't throw it. These are these are non biodegradable substances. And the third thing is the power supply. In villages and rural places we have very less power supply, and for doing this testing it's very hard for these places. And the fourth thing is the social and environmental setting. So 60% of the population in rural area, the thing is like these people are scared to get tested, and to do the screening, diagnosis and treatment, it's very hard for these places. And the last one is the human resource issue. Resource like we don't have proper healthcare in these rural places. So then I have considered various scenario what happened in this part. So the first scenario was like I started studying about a ASA health worker. She is Suman Debe. So she has to travel like 12 to 13 kilometer every day just to get tested and just to do testing for these people and collect and distribute medicines. So as for her experience, she just carry a bag. In that bag she used to carry all this medicine for COVID patient, as well as she used to tell people about this COVID, and like spread awareness to the people. And I also study about like scenario of Uttarakhand. In Uttarakhand, Uttarakhand, the terrain is like villages are settled in mountains, so it's very hard to go there. Go this ASA worker to go and get done this testing. So in the middle, some of the one team they went for this testing, and they went with a four-wheeler. So for them like it's very hard to get to the main village, and like they had to go till the panchayat level. From there they had to walk till certain 4 kilometer distance to reach to these people, and it's very hard for them to call the people by mobile also. So the network is not good, and like the connection. So currently for testing they carried a box, and like and it was very hard for them to do this testing. And if we talk about the Uttarakhand's foothills, and so we have this glacier. So currently some people, the volunteer, those who are going for this testing, they used to carry with their head they used to carry these samples with their head and with a carton box. So in their carton box, the main kit. In the main kit, the things like medicine, oximeter, thermometer, thermal scanner, mask, gloves, and sanitizer and PP kit they need to carry with it. So the day before they go to these places, and they collect all these sample kits, and they go to different places. So for kit they use cartoon box currently, and after going there also it's very hard for them to convince people like how we can do this testing. And there was one more scenario of vaccination. So that time even government started spreading awareness about like how we can vaccinate everyone. So it's like har ghar dastak. So one highlight came is like one ASA worker, she has to travel in a desert and with a camel, and she has to vaccinate people. So, and there was one more scenario of northeast India. So in northeast India we have even rivers, and in this topography it's very hard to reach these places, so reach these islands. So they have to go with a boat. This doctor and ASA worker, they have to go with a boat, and they try to do the testing, RT-PCR testing, and also for the vaccination. So after doing all this research, the thing is ki how can we come up with a solution? Like what if we create a problem solving scenario where the main thing is like we have to collect samples. We can collect samples from the rural area, and we can carry that one to till panchayat level, and from the panchayat level a four-wheeler can come and take all these samples to the main health headquarter, where we can get tested, and that testing message will go to that respective user, and we can easily do this testing. So if you do this, like, so who will be my user? So as in a rural area, the ASA worker, ANM ma'am, these people are more closer to these people. So my main user groups were ASA worker, ANM ma'am, and helpers. So and my secondary users were the people, those will be helping them, and the villagers, the victim, those who are getting affected for RT-PCR. So then I started making questions like question for these users. So what are their designation, and like how much kilometer they have to travel every day, and is it a problematic for them for traveling such distance, and like what are the equipment they need to carry while traveling, and how many villages in each day they have to go to different site, and how is the response from the locality? Is it good, or like how is the people's response? Then there were some pain points, so I made many questions regarding this. Then so even I did persona study about this. So I collected 5 persona from Odisha. And there were some nurse and some ASA worker, and finally even I did a expert review from IIT Bombay hospitals. So say I got many feedbacks like, yeah, they have to travel 5 kilometer every day, and currently they use vaccine box as a carrying kit. So in government is providing a small vaccine box where we have cold pack, so it's maintain cold temperature. And but the thing is like they told ki after some time it's very hard to maintain the temperature, and if they are carrying this COVID samples and this thing, there might be some negative in testing. And like they have many pain points where like they used to carry in their shoulder, so sometimes it just slip, and it's around like 3 to 4 kg. And like they even told like what are the equipment they used to carry, and it's very hard for them. And the main thing is like they had to travel in a two-wheeler or maybe in a local transport till one place. From there they had to climb and trek these places for testing. Then I did a research about like what are these cold box which government has introduced in this for rural people, for vaccinating the people. Then so the main insights were like they maintain the temperature between 2 to 8 degree, which I'm really required for my design, and which it can hold like 48 hours. It can maintain the temperature till 48 hours. So after that I went to IIT Bombay for my expert review. There I there I got the samples, sample kit, small sample VPM kit, where we can test this RT-PCR test. And I went to Mr. Haresh Kumar. He is the expertise for COVID-19. And as for him, like, he has given me a kit, like, where he has, where people are using 4 cold pack in that kit. And like we have in the center we have these samples for carrying. So, and the main thing is like the biohazardous mark which has mentioned in that box. And the thing is like we can only carry these samples, except that we can't carry a thermometer or any other things. And so they have given me a VTM samples kit, where we have a nasal swab and even the mouth swab, where we can do this both test. And as well as we have VTM viral transmission medicine for that swab test kit they have given me. They have also explained me about like how we can use that one. So after that, for going they told, okay, we can go to that place and we just do the testing, and we can carry with the 2-wheelers. So then I started doing the analysis of RT-PCR, like how it is done in rural places. So we have to go with a 4-wheeler, and then after that, in a panchayat level, we have to stop there. From there, we have to walk, we have to carry our samples, and we have to visit different villages, door to door, and we have to collect the samples, and we have to bring it back to that panchayat level, and from there it will go to the head office for testing. So the main user problems were, the thing is like fear of testing. People, they thought like if they are going to get tested, it's very hard for them, and like they might get COVID if they are going for testing. And so people were very scared. And second thing was like transporting these samples from rural area to till that the main region. And lack of communication. People are not aware of this COVID-19. So even there was no any social distancing in this. So then I started organizing like how much space this kit will require for my design. Then even I started studying about the vaccines, because side by side I also thought of considering how I can use this same kit as for vaccination also. So I started studying about like different types of vaccines that has been given in rural segments, so which will be helpful. We can act as a multi-purpose product. So my first design brief was like so the idea was to design a COVID kit for this remote people, which the main thing is like it has to be with ergonomical fit, and like it has to maintain the temperature between 2 to 8 degree, and considering the micro user interaction, like how it could be very helpful for the user, the ASA worker, to operate this kit. So then I started doing my ideation. So in the beginning, the main idea was like, so currently we are using the passive cooling method, and in the passive cooling method we have this cold package, whereas if we add active cooling part of it, like we can add a peltier to it. So active and passive, we can just maintain this temperature from 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Then I started started studying like how the life cycle of a ASA worker, like how he perform, like how he has to travel these places, and in the middle, if she is going somewhere, like how she is resting, and where the equipment she is keeping. So in my concept, the main technical part was the peltier, which I am going to use. So a peltier is a thing which is a semiconductor which heat one side and cool one side. Peltier also used in different places, like in medical and medical, IoT, science, and even energy saving, and even mobility. And I started doing my initial ideations, where it's more about like carrying a backpack kind of stuff, as well as I thought of carrying with a hand in the middle. And it was more in the beginning, it was more towards exoskeleton kind of design. So my first initial concept was like I was trying to consider this prototype as a, so here we can see So I thought like I'll make a pod which where I can store the samples, and if the cool temperature is if it is decreasing, I can I can make it a modular, and like I can insert it to a Peltier module, so to get it make it instant cool. And so, and these were the thing. So this is the mock-up for it. So I was trying like it should be very handy. Then there was second concept where it is a stackable one. So these are the three one. So it's a stack. So in my second concept, it's like second concept is also based on the modularity. So this is the single modules like here, and it's a scale module. So you can see this grill has been given for the Peltier, and here we can keep in each box we can keep different all the equipments required for the testing. So that could be stackable, and like you can carry with this. So that was my first concept. And in the middle, for the to maintain the temperature, in the middle we have the shaft which cool each unit. So these were the 1:1 model for it. So here I have given a portion where you can hold it. This is how it has to be kept like. So then in one more concept, I thought like how I can maintain this temperature like cold temperature. So there were some slot, like once you rotate it for and there will be a single slot where you can take out the samples, and the rest of part will be closed. So it's like the one which you are using the slot for sample collection, only that part will be exposed, and so it's not used for the other part. So it's good for maintaining the temperature. And there were one more concept which is like backpack kind of thing, where the Peltier has been placed at the top. It's in freeze we kept the cooling part at the top, so the hot air it moves up, and it maintains the cycle of cooling. So that was the main concept. So in that, here is the model. So this is the part. So here we can see it's very easy for carrying. So at the beginning I thought of designing in such a way that the ASA worker can carry this one as a backpack kind of stuff. But later on doing the user study, there were many feedback regarding this, and I went with different concept. So there was also one rocket concept, like which you can carry like a rocket in the backside, and so then the main problem for this one is that when I'm carrying this thing, so it's more than my torus length, so it's just hitting my backside. So it's very hard for a user to carry this one for the longer time, as well as there wasn't any ergonomically benefited to the user. So I did a rig testing for how this Peltier works, and with the help of engineering team, I did a rig testing. In that rig testing, I have used a single Peltier which I got till 10 degree with a single Peltier. So I thought of I discussed with my guide, and I thought of including two Peltier in a single samples. So then I did a concept evaluation for all these three part, whereas the concept 2, which is the stackable one, has got more. The stackable one has got more points because of its usability factor. But after that, like, we had a discussion with the guide, and there were many feedbacks. So the micro interactions were missing, and it was to focus more on the form part of it, and adding more key features, and what could be done more to it. So then I came up with my final design brief, which is like considering more micro interaction part of the design. So then I started making the form concept. In form concept, I have to trigger different parts, like the structure of the kit. How would be the structure? If I'm designing a kit, like it should be very stable and ergonomically fit. And there was second thing is like product ergonomy. Third thing is the micro interaction. So how an ASA worker they use this product, they'll be using maybe in keeping on a table or maybe keeping on a ground. And there were many technical things like how this peltier is gonna work, what should be the placement of this peltier, like maybe backside or the arrangement of the peltier basically. So then I started doing my form concepts, like then in the starting, like the sketches, like where this peltier can be placed so that it's very useful for the worker to carry. I made a different mock-ups for it, like, and from there mock-ups for it, and I came up with from the dynamic form to a stable form, because like it has to be kept in place, like it should not fall. So, and I also did the center of gravity analysis of this part, like, so after doing all these mock-ups, I thought, I came to know this, like it should be very stable. And there were some mock-ups which was more dynamic, but it was not stable, and it's very hard for the user to interact with it. So the main thing is like the slanting has been given in the top of the design, which is more user friendly for the user to keep these samples. And the peltier, the arrangement of the peltier. I also thought of the backpack. I mean, if a user is carrying this as a backpack, so I mean there should be a gap between the back side to the back and with the and the and the product. So the air should be pass, so that it should be properly ventilated, and it will be useful for the user. So side by side, I also thought of like what should be the arrangement of these samples. And I also went to this IITB heat and pump department to understand about the material, like what I am going to use, which can insulate properly. Then then I started doing my 3 final concept. So the 3 final concepts were based on the peltier of position of the peltier, center of gravity, how it is, whether it is stable or not, and like how it is helpful as a backpack for the user, and it's more over like user factor and micro interaction. So this is one concept, like where we are carrying this design as a as a trolley kind of stuff. So, and the peltier has been kept in both the side. Two peltier are used, and both the peltier are kept aside, so that it's very useful for the user to keep the samples. So these are the the design part of it. Like I have given a charging port on the bottom for charging, and here we can see the minimal peltier heat sink and the closing lid. So for keeping samples, this was the design. So these are the slot has been, so we can keep in this slot, like, so once you can take it out, you can just keep it. And these are the real samples. And I have given this mock-ups to the one of my helper, and like with that I get it tested, like how. So in that while doing the testing, I found that because both the peltier are kept aside, so it was very hard for the user to walk, and the heat it dissipated from the peltier, it's affecting the user. Then coming to my second concept. In that second concept, the peltier has been placed exactly opposite, I mean backside of the design. So here the thing is ki both the peltier are kept in such a way that we are getting more spaces, as well as the usability factor was like the backside of the design was designed in such a way that you can it's very the design has a curve like which is with the shape of our back, so it's easy to carry. And we have I have also given a cushion, a rectangular cushion, which is easy for the user to carry it in the back side. So we have a latchet system for closing and opening of the lid. So here the problem was in this concept, the problem was because the peltier are kept very lower backside, so there is a chance of getting dust and water while carrying to different places. So these were the product visualization and the exploded view we can see. So after that I made a mock-ups and I have given it to one of the user just to take like how we can use it. In my second concept, the main problem was the dust and the dusting which is affecting, and the carrying part of it was also hard for the user. It was not coming with the center of gravity. Coming to my third concept, so this is the final one, the third one. So coming to my third concept, the two peltier has been placed in the backside of it. I mean, like, which is very helpful for the user. Like, it's not even touching my arm while walking, and the heat will be released from backside, so it's easy. And the slanting part is given. The slanting portion has been given for the user to if I am sitting. And I can also work on the table and I can keep it on the ground. It's very useful for the user to take out and keep it the samples. And then in the back side you can see these are the slots given for the for this belt, like, which is easy for carrying, and it has a minimal grill design. So we can see here like how it is opening. So we have a handle, like we can carry this one. You just hold it and you can carry with it. So a user can just, if sometime in the middle, if she just want to keep it somewhere and just walk, she can use it for temporary distance. And for using this thing, opening this one, you can just tilt this part, top part, and you can open this lid. And inside we have these samples. These are samples. So there were this, in a single kit we have this 4 samples. So if I am using one, so these things are inside, so it will maintain the temperature. So here you can see the part of this thing. So these are the peltier. 2 peltier has been attached in this part. And I have also given a temperature sensor for sensing. So a user can see like how much temperature we have given, like how much temperature it remain, and so that time he or she can run this peltier and make it cool. So along with this active cooling, I have also passive cooling one. There were 2 cold pack side by side which will maintain the temperature of this box. And after this I went to my expertise and this get it tested. Then the review was good and like they like this project. So I'll show you how you can carry this one. Like just single person can carry with this both in the back side. And so if you talk about the multi-purpose part of it, like you can also carry vaccines inside, which has like I have given in the design, like the slot has been given as per the size of vaccines. So along with the all 3 concept, this was the one which got selected and like the final one, and it has a very good usability factor of it. Then I made a proper prototype of it, and like I'm working on the the joinery and the industrial part of it, so that it can come to the market for the real use. and these are the photos of the user, and I have given different people for testing it. Yeah, so the and coming to my conclusion part of it, the scope could be like, and in my jury, like what my guide has been suggest, and the external has been given, the review is like, I could consider some, some part, like because the user, they are going in this hilly area, so sometimes they might, might be resting in the middle of the place, or and how they are going to carry their this mobile and their personal things along with. So they want me to add that part to my design, and that could be, the next part of it, like. And the one more thing is, we can also integrate, the face shield part of it, so which was told by the, guide, and the externals. And the main future scope of this project is like, we can, produce, we can add all the features, like in a single kit, like in a single kit. In the front part, we can also design in such a way that we can keep all our personal equipment, also the user's personal equipment. And the temperature could be, we can also increase the temperature in the middle. So that was the main design of it. Thank you.